Hold on. There we go. I'm on 2 hiring committees, and I have like several meetings Friday. So I am not going to meet with classes Friday.
Yay!
Thanks, Miss Hatton. Miss Hatton don't say anything the whole semester, and I say we're not going to have classes, and she goes, "Yay!"
I'm doing it for the class because they saying in the background. They just on mute.
Whatever. Plausible deniability.
You lying.
Yep. So y'all will not have class Friday. Now,
I'm gonna start using that every day all the time.
say again.
I'm gonna start using plausible deniability all the time.
Plausible deniability, yes. And chuckle when you tell a person that. Say, well, Mr. Brickman, how are you going to do this? I mean, you're going to get in trouble. Just lean
Plausible
back.
deniability.
Plausible deniability.
The last
Americans are too ignorant. They'll believe anything we tell them.
As long as you use big words, you're fine.
Yep, that part right there.
Well, that's what they think in DC. The people are too ignorant, but that's changed. That has changed, and I hope it continues to change. I mean, I never will see in my lifetime. I never will see term limits because Washington D.C. and each capital of each state have fortified themselves into staying into the House and the Congress, more than they should. But I think senators and congressmen should be held to 4 terms because they do have to stay in a little bit longer than the president because they do more things. And I think 4 terms or 5 terms, and you're out. There's people in Washington, D.C. that's been up there since 1960, 70s. It ain't done a damn thing. Makes me sick. Anyway.
Reminds me of Joe Biden.
I ain't say it. You said it. Plausible.
I said it.
Plausible.
He hadn't done a thing.
Deniability. Okay, we need to get started. All right, I'm going to pull up the homework. Those y'all have questions. Glad to see y'all have questions. That's a good thing. That means y'all are doing the work. And there we go. I'm going to focus on chapter 12 questions, and then we'll move on to 12.3. All right, first question, let's see if they're in order. 17, 17, 26, 27. Okay, this one is, this is 12.29, 3. 12.2, 9 in the book, 3 online. Okay. This is a test question. So I'm going to write it down, and I'm not going to look at the questions. I'm just going to tell you everything you can do with this problem. Okay. So let me write down 12 to 21, 22, 32, 42, 52, and 62. Dash, 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 dash. 31, 41, 51, 61, 71. And class and frequency. Frequency is a 25-cent word for head count. 940 498. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what everything you can find with a frequency distribution. First of all, the left-hand side, these guys are called the lower class limits. These are called the lower class limits. And the ones on the right are called the upper class limits. This is called the head count. So what if you want to know how many people are in the group? How do you
Add 'em up.
you add them up? So I'm going to add those up. I know we got 9, and 9 is 18. And 8 and 8 is 16. So we've got 18 and 16, which is 34. Y'all check my math. Add them up for me. What you get?
Correct.
Okay, so 34 is the total, which is n. N is equal to 34. That's how many are in the class. I like to tell students that this is people in a classroom, their ages. Okay? And there's 34 in the classroom. Now, these people don't have to be taking a class. There could be students, faculty, staff in a room. And their ages. And how many people are in the room? 34. Okay, so that's a question. This is a question. This is a question. And this is a question. So there's 3 test questions right there. What are the lower class limits? What are the upper class limits? What is N? Okay, then what else can they ask? They can ask for the class.
He can't join the classroom.
What?
Noah said he can't join for some reason. It like won't let him.
Last name?
Tillotson. He said I
name.
can't join the call for some reason.
Phillips. William?
Noah Tillotson.
Oh, Tillotson.
Yeah.
Till. Okay, I just sent him a call. I don't know. A lot of people have been doing that. I don't know. Okay, I see. For some reason, my chat, when y'all chat, it doesn't roll like it's supposed to. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, let's see if Mr. Tillison's in here. Is he in here?
Yeah, now he is.
Mr. Tillison, what's happening with your side? Okay, he don't have his microphone unmuted. Well, I had a student in my other class, and I think he just left. No, somebody just left. Who left?
Miss Hatton.
Somebody left. Miss Hatton didn't leave. She's still in here. Says on hold. She's on hold.
I don't know what that means.
That means that she's hit. I don't know. I have to ask her because I don't know how you put something on hold. Roommate taking tests. Hold on. I can't speak. Okay. Okay, so Mr. Tillotson, you are in here. Miss Hatton, what happened to you?
Oh, I don't know my internet.
Okay. I think something's going on because I had a student yesterday tell me they couldn't get into they said the same thing. They said their router had to be replaced, Mr. Tillotson. So I don't know. That was in another class. She tried to get in 2 classes and I'd have to bring her in. She'd get kicked back out. I'd bring her in, she'd get kicked back out. And then she said she replaced her router. So I don't know. And I was asking you, Miss Hatton, because it said you were on hold, and I didn't know if you put something on hold or if you got accidentally kicked out for a second. That's why I wanted to ask you How do you put yourself on hold? But I guess you were kicked out.
I'm back.
Okay. All right, so we can do those 3 questions. What about class width? Well, width is going to be equal to, I can just pick 2 numbers vertically. 31 minus 21 is equal to 10. Whatever you want to pick, 52. 52 minus 42 is 10. Whatever you want to pick, 22. 22 minus 12 is 10. So I think it's safe to say that the class width is what? 10.
10.
Okay, that's how you find the class width. How do you find the midpoint? Well, midpoint, take any lower class limit with this adjoining, I said adjoining upper class limit, and add them up and divide them by 2. So I'm going to take the first one, 12 plus 21 divided by 2. 12 plus 21 is 32, isn't it? No, 33. And that's going to be equal to 16.5. Now you got to do each of the midpoints. So I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to draw a column right here and we're going to call them midpoints. My first one is 16.5. What's my class width? 10. So I'm going to add 10 to each one. So that's going to be 26.5, 36.5, 46.5, 56.5, and 66.5. And those are your midpoints. Now they may ask for one more thing, and that's called the class boundaries. And I don't like to go over class boundaries because they're really meaningless, and you got to remember some rules, but I'm going to go ahead and show you. So class width is something they will test you on. Midpoints are something they're going to test you on. I don't know if they're going to test you on class boundaries, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it. But before you do the class boundaries, you have to be sure you remember the following. If you have whole numbers, the class boundary is going to be to the 10th. If you have decimals to the 10ths, the class boundary is going to be to the 100th. If you have classes to the 100th, then your class boundary is going to be to the 1000th, and so on. And I will tell you that this right here is going to be 0.5. This one is usually going to be 0.95. And this one can be 0.955. Or some people use 995. Okay, it can be or. Matter because they don't ask very many questions with class boundaries. So how do you do the class boundaries? Well, I'm going to do the class boundaries in another color. I'm going to do it in blue. Now that's not a blue you can, well, I'll do it in highlight. I'll highlight. And I'll just do the class boundaries up here at the, and I'll just use a blue pen, not the blue pen. I'll use that turquoise looking blue. Shows up better. So what comes before 12? Well, these are whole numbers, so I'm going to be going to the 10th. So 11.5 and add 10. Well, 10 be 21.5, 31.5, 41.5, 51.5, and 61.5. And that's your class boundaries. And that's pretty much all you can do with a, there's one more thing you can do. I forgot to tell you, and that's find your relative frequency. And a relative frequency is a 25-cent word for percentage. So I'm going to take my pink highlighter, well, a little darker than pink, and I'm going to call it the relative frequency. And that is nothing but a percentage. So what's 9 divided by 34? 4 divided by 34. 0 divided by 34, and so on. So I'm going to do the first 3 for you. I'll do this last one. That's going to be 0%. Let me get my handy dandy calculator because y'all don't want to talk to me, so I'll just do it myself. 9 divided by 34, because y'all will just plausibly deny me. 9 divided by 34, 0.2 or 26.47%. 26.47%. Now they might write it 0.2647. Depends on the directions. Okay, so you got to read the directions. 4 divided by 34, 0.1176 or 11.76%, 0.1176. That's relative frequency. So make sure you make a note that relative frequency is equal to the percentage. And I told you that when we first started with frequency distributions. So let's see what they asked for in the question.
What's the numbers in the blue?
That's the class boundary. It's got blue right here. Pay attention.
I am. I'm working
This
as you
class boundary is in blue. So that's the class boundaries. Y'all make that association, blue and blue. Y'all got that? Blue and blue.
I'm trying to figure out where you got 11.5 in that blue.
What's the whole number that comes before 12?
11.
And then you just add a 0.5 to it.
Oh.
And then add 10 after that.
Yeah, because that's the class width. Mm-hmm. The class width is the most important number. So I'm going to take class width and I'm going to paint it green because that's the most important number. Because with the class width, you can find everything for each number instead of calculating it. So make sure you know how to get the class width. Now this is a good, for the one person that watches my videos, this is a good video right here that you might want to rewind and pause because it tells you how to find everything with a frequency distribution. Now let's see what they want because I have no idea what they're asking. The total number of observations is 34. The width of each class is 10. The midpoint of the second class is 26.5. That's wrong. It's 21.5. But I can't change it. Hold on. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It is 26.5. I was looking at the class boundary. The modal classes. Okay, and I hardly ever cover mode. Let me tell you what the modal class is. I'll write this on the next page. Why don't I write it down here? The modal class is the class with the highest head count. Which class has the highest head count? Okay, y'all know to look
Yeah.
under the head count
They
and
got
see where the
two.
highest number is, right?
You get to
Two
this
nine.
one.
There's 2.
9.
So this is bimodal. Let me pick another color. Orange. No, I've used orange. I've used all those colors. So I'm going to use purple. I better use the light purple because you don't see that. There. Here is my mode classes. So this frequency distribution is bimodal. What does bi mean? 2. So you have 2 classes that that show up the most. So in this case, this one is bimodal, and 12 to 21 and 52 to 61. So let's go and type that in. Now it says, let's read this. Use a hyphen to separate the limits of a class. Use a comma to separate the answers. So from 12 to 21, comma, and 52 to 61. And I read the directions, guys. I'm not talking to the females. Guys, you got to read the directions. Enter. The class limits of the next class if an additional class were to be added. Add 10 to 62, what do you get? What are you doing, Miss Hatton? Sounds like you're cutting up paper.
Oh, I'm on the I forgot I was on mute.
She's doing drugs is what she's doing. She's doing drugs. 72 to what? What's 71 plus 10?
81.
My mama, she's like 80, and every time something is weird going on around here, my mama says it's dope. They own dope. That's what my mama says. If somebody's parked on the side of the road, they could be having car, you know, we live out here in the country. And if they parked on the side, they doing dope. Mama, everybody don't do dope. All right.
That's the old saying, though. I heard it too.
Well, you have too. They own dope. 72 to 81. That's it. So that right there is a good example of what information you can get out of the frequency distribution. I'm leaving it up for a reason. There's that one person out there that watches the, they'll be able to pause that and rewind it or whatever. And that's that question. Delete. Oops. Good old Tri-County Tech. That gum log you out just as soon as possible. Okay, I hope I deleted that one. I don't know if I deleted it or not. You sent me another one. Did you send me another one? 9-3. Was that 9-3? Yeah.
I think that was the same one we just did.
Yeah, it didn't delete it. Okay, 9-3. Okay, both Mr. Henry and Miss Hatton sent this one, same one. So I'm going to do Mr. Henry's since Miss Hatton was the last one. And I don't like her. 12.217/4. Okay, the data to the right represents population of 20 of the most popular cities and blah, blah, blah. Rounded to the, okay, first of all, I'm going to put this in an Excel spreadsheet. Why? Because I want to confuse you. No, because everything's on the page and you can see it. So I'm going to blow it up. Maybe that size, open it up there. There we go. And make that small and get rid of that. And here's my numbers. 13.2, 12.8, 12.8, 12.8, 12.1, 11.4, 11.1, 10.9, 10.4, 9.4, 9.3, 8.9, 8.8, 8.6, 8.3, 7.9, 7.7, 7.3, 7.3, and 7.2. If you have a calculator, let's go ahead and pull up the calculator. No, you don't need a calculator for this because you want to do this by hand. Okay, so there's my numbers. I'm going to try to make them a little bit smaller so I can get them on the page. So just bear with me a second. And it's not going to let me move it up and down. Why isn't it letting me move up and down? There we go. And I'm going to make them smaller. Let's see if that'll get. I think that got them. Yep, that's got them. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is put these things in order. So how do you do that on an Excel spreadsheet? Well, you highlight all the numbers and you hit data and you hit descending order, which is A to Z. There's my numbers. Now all you got to do is set up your classes. Well, they already got your classes set up. So I'm going to transfer them over to my spreadsheet. 7.9. And down here we got 10 and 11 and 11.9 and 10.9. We need to fill in the other places. Well, somebody tell me what the class width is. That means I want somebody to
Is
say
it 20?
What's 11 minus 10?
Mm.
Mm-hmm. You don't know what 11 minus 10 is? 1. So that's going to be 8. That's going to be 9. That's going to be 12 and 13. What's 7.9 plus 1? That means I want you to say something.
8.9.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Wow. What's 8.9 plus 1? It's all right. I'm not going to push y'all too much. There's my classes. Now I'm going to do my head count. So let me pull up my handy dandy numbers. So what numbers are between 7 and 7.9? We'll highlight those yellow. How many? 5. Thank you, class. y'all don't understand this communication thing, do y'all? I hope y'all not in a relationship.
I'm trying to figure out the problem.
You're trying to concentrate. I'm messing you up. 8 to 8.9. 4.
So what you're doing is you're highlighting the numbers in between and then you're putting it over the head count.
Yeah, I'm counting how many numbers are in between. Yeah.
Okay.
Now the reason I'm coloring them is just so it make y'all see what I'm doing. 10
Right.
to 10.9. 2. 11 to 11.9. 12 to 12.9. We'll leave those white. And then 13, we'll make that burnt orange, the yellow color. And 1. And let's add them up and make sure we get what I think they said 20, but we'll make sure. Yep. Now let's do the relative frequency. I'm going to put, this is head count, so we'll call this, I think they call it F for frequency. And now we're going to do relative frequency. 5 divided by what? 20. And I'm going to lock that. Let's see. Alternate F4. When did my microphone, when did it go mute?
Oh, I don't
It's
know.
been a minute.
Hold
I
on.
didn't realize it was.
Internet.
I thought you were just focusing.
So did I.
Well, when did you hear me talk last? What was I saying? What did I
Frequency.
say last? I want to know who muted me.
You probably did it by accident. Can we mute you?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
If you do, I'll just turn it back off. I think Miss Hatton did it.
She's
Oh,
pulling
no,
plausible
no,
liability.
no, there you go, line.
That's all right.
Exactly.
That's all right, Miss Hatton. I'll kick you out of here. All right.
Can't do that.
What was the last thing you heard me say?
Probably when you was doing a percentage.
Good gosh,
That's
that's
what I
been a
was
whole,
thinking.
Yeah, because you doing midpoints, and I don't even know how you got them, but
7 plus 7.9 divided by 2. You take the lower class limit plus the upper class limit and divide by 2. 8 plus 8.9 divided by 2. 9 plus 9.9 divided by 2. Now, the question I was asking before someone muted me is, what number comes before 7?
6.
6.
And these are all whole numbers. So the class boundary is going to start with 6.5. And then you're just going to add the class width to it and keep on going. So 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5. Oops, I'm sorry. No, that's wrong. I forgot. We got decimals over here. See these tenth? So we got to go to 6.95. My bad. 6.95. 7.95. 8.95. 10.95. 11.95. 12.95. And 13.95. Because that's to the 10th. What else? Well, let's do which class shows up the most? Which class shows up the most times? Five, Hubert. 5, yeah, the 7 to 7.9. So I'm gonna color
Is
that
it
green.
5?
Thank you, Miss Hatton. Okay, so that's the one that shows up the most. So you would say the mode class is 7 to 7.9 because it shows up 5 times. The rest of them show up less than 5. And that's everything you can find there with a binomial. Now, I mean, a probability distribution. So let's go to our handy dandy question. And let's fill in. That'd be 8. And why ain't my number lock working? 9, 12, and 13. 8.9, 9.9, 12.9, and 13.9. And 5, 4, 2, 2, 2, 4, 1. 5, 4, oh shoot. 5, 4, 2, 2, 2, 4, and 1. Okay, that's all they wanted. Okay. Good test question. Both of those good test questions. Miss Hatton, you want to go over yours? Okay.
What you
We'll
say?
go over it just for giggles. All right, do that one. Well, it looks like she did it. You did that right. Did you get it right and you just didn't understand it, or?
Yeah, I think it was more of plotting the numbers because I was thinking I just had to come up with numbers that equal to 20.
No, you have to count these.
Yeah, I know that now.
Okay,
So
okay.
I
Well,
didn't,
okay.
yeah.
All right, we'll go on to the next one since we're pressed for
Okay.
time. 12.2, 26/5. I only got like 5 minutes left. Okay, this is a stem and leaf plot. What's the lowest number that you have? Look over here. What's the lowest number that you have? $22.
22.
What's the highest number you have?
$66, maybe.
Looks like
66.
66 to me. So you're going to make your stem and leaf plot. That's 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And then you're going to count. How many 20s do we have? Well, it'd help if you put them in order. So I'm going to use the Excel spreadsheet because I'm not going to try to put anything in order by sight. I'm not going to try that. Everybody be talking, no, there's 26, there's 27. No, I'm not doing that. So we're going to go down here. I'm going to put them in order right quick, and then I'll write them down. So 22, 53, 29, 35, 27, 46, 26, 31, 63, 62, 23, 57, 62, 39, 46, 52, 27, 33, 66, 39. I'm going to put them in order. Go to data and A to Z. Okay, now I'm going to write them down. Well, I'm going to do everything on the Excel spreadsheet. All right, so I said my numbers are going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that represents my tens. So how many 2s do we have? Well, there's 23. There we go. There's our 2s. So I'm going to color that. No coughing in class, please. You need to wear a mask.
Excuse me.
2, 3, 6, 7, 7, 9. So that's 22, 23, 26, 27, 27, 29. 30. Color that. See, if you wear a mask, Miss Cersei, everything will be all right. Everything will be terrific in your life. All right. So 1, 3, 5, 9, and 9. 4, only got 2. 6 and 6. And I do not want these centered because I'm going to show you a trick learned in the war. And next, 50s. Two, 3, 7. 2, 3, 7. And then I'll make those gray. 2, 2, 3, 6. And that's what it looks like. And your curve, if you turn this up on its side, the curve would look like this. It'd go and then go up like that. So there's a dip in the middle. So that's stem and leaf plot. So which one does that look like? Let's go back to your notes. I meant your, and pull up your handy dandy. Not that. All right, which one does it look like? I think it's this one. Next. I know I'm out of time, so we'll leave it right here. Let's see if this is the same one. Nope, it's like it. Let's see if it's the same type. Nope, it's not. So we'll stop there and we'll delete this one and we'll do this one. Well, I got you through to this one. So, well, why did it not delete? I hit delete, didn't I? Oh, man. Okay, delete.
Get it together.
I don't know. I think I've lost my mind. All right, now let me check the roll right quick. I'm going to turn off and see if there's anybody here that